Is a ceasefire deal finally on the horizon for Israel and Gaza? Negotiators are very clear to conclude a ceasefire deal, which would see Hamas return 33 Israeli hostages in the final week of the Biden administration before the next Monday. In the latest signal that an agreement could be near, Israeli government believes that Hamas and its allies still hold 94 hostages taken from Israel during the October 7, 2023 attack, at least 34 of whom are dead. A deal with Hamas could release 33 hostages, some of whom may not be alive, during the initial 42-day-long ceasefire, Bloomberg reported, quoting senior Israeli officer. Israel believes the bodies of dead hostages will also likely be among 33 people released during the first phase of the trial. Quoting the diplomat close to negotiations, CNN reported that a final round of talks to finalize any issues was scheduled to take place in Doha on Tuesday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who was recently diagnosed with cancer, has invited some of the hostages' families to meet him on the same day, according to the Hostages and Missing Families Forum. The release of hostages would be the first phase of the deal, and negotiations for the second phase would begin on 16th day of the implementation of the deal, which is intended to end the war. However, this is a difficult prediction, as the Israel-Palestine conflict goes back decades, all the way to 1948, when Israel was first established as a country. The decades-long war has resulted in multiple deaths, millions of displacements, and many international treaties which have been made and broken. The latest conflict escalation happened after Hamas attacked a music festival in the Israeli territory on October 7th of 2023, killing 1,200 of Israeli people. Israel's retaliation has now lasted over 15 months. According to Gaza Health Ministry, over 45,000 people have been killed, mostly women and children, in this war, and millions have been displaced from West Bank, Gaza, Rafah. According to the latest CNN report, under the current truce deal proposed by Qatar, during the first phase, Israeli forces will remain stationed along with Philadelphia Corridor, a narrow strip of land along the Egypt-Gaza border. The presence of Israeli troops along the corridor was one of the reasons why a potential deal could not be finalized in September of last year. Israel would also maintain a buffer zone inside Gaza along the border with Israel. The width of the buffer zone is not clear yet, according to the CNN report. Hamas wants the buffer zone to return to pre-October 7 sizes of 300 to 500 meters from the borderline, while Israel is requesting 2,000 meters. Moreover, residents of northern Gaza could return freely to the north of the strip, but unspecified security arrangements would reportedly remain in place. According to Israeli officials, Palestinian prisoners captured by Israel, who are deemed responsible for killing Israelis by Israel, would not be released into the West Bank, but rather to Gaza Strip or abroad, following the agreements with foreign country. There would be a significant increase of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, where international bodies, including the United Nations, warn that population is facing severe humanitarian crisis, notably due to the ongoing war, Israel's attempts to block aid, and the repeated military action. Many in Gaza are facing starvation, with reports of children being frozen to death not uncommon. Israel allows aid into the enclave. However, there have been disputes over the amount allowed in, as well as the amount that reaches people in need, with looting by criminal gangs being an ever-increasing problem.